Welcome to Illuminati Silver, where we tell you the truth about silver. Today is Sunday, the 12th of December 2021, and we're producing our weekly update and forecast for gold and silver prices for this coming week. Now, this is broadly the same video as we produced yesterday, our normal gold and silver weekly update, and so if you've already listened to that, there is no need to listen to this one. But before we go ahead and see what happened last week and our thoughts for this coming week, just a quick shout out to a video we produced earlier today entitled Why Wednesday's FOMC is Crucial for Gold and Silver Prices. Please do not miss this one, and to help you find it we've placed links below and in the comment section. Let's now go over to our update. Gold fell $1 last week, falling from $1,784 to $1,783, having hit a high of $1,793 and a low of $1,770, a fall of just 0.06%. In sterling terms, gold finished the week at £1,344. That's down £4. And in euros, it closed at 1,575 euros. That's down €2. Silver fell 37 cents, falling from 22.57 to 22.20, having hit a high of 22.62 and a low of 21.84, a fall of 0.4%. In sterling terms, silver closed at £16.74. That's down 31 pence. And in euros, it closed at 19.62 euros, and that's down 0.33 euros. The gold to silver ratio rose from 79 to 1 to 80 to 1. It's been some time since that ratio was in the 80s. Bitcoin rose $600 and currently stands at $48,721. The Dow Jones closed on Friday at 35,970, up 216 points on the day, but up 1,390 points on the week. The S&P 500 closed up 44 points at 4,712, and it was up 174 points on the week. The Nasdaq Composite closed at 15,630, up 113 points on the day and up 545 points on the week. So a pretty good week for equities, and a little surprising in view of the FOMC meeting due next week. But in fact, it really only just managed to reverse the losses of the previous 2 weeks. Brent crude, looking at oils, closed at $75.15, up $5.27 on the week, and WTI crude closed at $71.67. That's up $5.41 on the week, when we were hoping that perhaps oil prices would stay under 70. The dollar index stands at 96.09. That's down just 0.02 on the week. In other words, virtually unchanged. Now, we concluded last week's video with the following forecast. Quote, we see gold trading between 1725 and 1825, with 1700 to 1850 as outliers, and silver trading between $21.75 and $23.75, with $21 and $24 as outliers. Well, gold traded well within our normal range without even attempting to move into outlier territory, and in fact, it was a rather boring week because gold just moved some $23 between its high and low. Silver also traded within its normal trading range, as we predicted, and its difference between its high and its low was just 78 cents. Quite disappointing in view of what actually went on last week, the data of which we shall cover in a moment. Now, please continue to notice the deterioration of silver against gold, with silver now coming off worse, and now we've got a gold to silver ratio just entering into the 80 territory. We would not be surprised over the coming weeks to see that rise even further. Looking at the economic data, we could see, as we reported in our daily updates, that consumer credit fell $11 billion over the past month, and initial jobless claims also went down this past week. The important data day for the week was Friday, with CPI, core inflation, and the UMH Consumer Sentiment Index all coming in broadly as expected. And therefore, we did see a slight rise in gold and silver on Friday afternoon, making up some earlier day losses. CPI month-on-month for November came in at 0.8% against 0.9% in October, so an improvement, but still higher than the 0.7% forecast. And this took the year-over-year number to 6.8%. This is the most severe inflation seen in the United States since the 1980s. And that's the official figures. Reuters also reported that, quote, gold gained on Friday as its safe haven appeal was boosted by elevated US consumer prices, which also cooled some bets for aggressive interest rate hikes, since the jump in inflation was not as big as expected, unquote. So this past week we've seen gold trading broadly flat, and short of a geopolitical black swan, it may consolidate around current levels for a short time yet. That said, as we shall see in a moment, we have the FOMC announcement on Wednesday, and that will no doubt set the scene for the remainder of this year, which is only a few weeks. Silver prices are predicted by some to be currently oversold, basing that judgment on the fast stochastic. That said, what's happening economically to boost it, we ask? A weaker dollar? No, that's not happening. An increase in global productivity? Hardly. No, it's a tough one to be too enthusiastic, taking the very short term into account. Now, technically, on silver, we have resistance at the 10-day moving average of $22.44. Support levels vary, but should silver break below 22 and hold, then ultimately $20 could be in sight. On the upside, if we can get past $27, then we could see a quick rise to 30, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So let's take a look at the economic data being announced by the United States. On Monday, nothing scheduled. Tuesday, producer price index for November. That'll be interesting. But Wednesday's the important day, and Thursday. Wednesday, we have retail sales, import price index for November, the Empire State Manufacturing Index for December, and then, of course, the all-important FOMC announcement, followed by Jerome Powell's press conference. Then on Thursday, we have weekly jobless claims, the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index for December, market manufacturing PMIs for December, and the market services PMI for December, and the industrial production index for November. And we have nothing scheduled for Friday. So all the action, if there is any, is likely to occur Wednesday and Thursday. Now, in tomorrow's video, we shall focus a little more on what we expect the Fed to do on Wednesday. With this in mind, we see gold trading really between the same levels as we predicted last week, 1725 to 1825, with 1700 to 1850 as outliers. And silver trading between 2150 and 2350 to 21 to 24 as outliers. Similar margins for silver as we predicted the previous week, but slightly more downside for silver, but not a lot. What do you think? Where do you think these prices are going to trade this coming week? Do let us know your thoughts. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel, not forgetting to press the bell sign so you're notified of our videos as and when they're published. Look out for our video tomorrow. And finally, we wish you a safe, enjoyable weekend and prosperous week ahead. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.